Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more
Hello.
KTT Talks podcast. Today we are traveling to Canada with our dear friend Victor Alexis. Long time no see, Victor. How are you?
Very good, very good. It's been a long time, guys. Looking great.
It's
Yes, you
true.
also. Nice.
So just to do here a fast introduction for those that don't know what we are doing here. By the way, KTT means Kizomba Teachers Training, a program that we create back to 2013, where we share our structure to teach Kizomba step by step, ready to use. And we are doing this already since 2013, and more than 500 people already attend this training. And now we are doing it also in an online version. And we decided to create this podcast, to be able to talk with our students and to meet them more in deep and to know more about their past, to know more about their journey, what they are doing, what they want to do, and in a very relaxed talk, be able here to share and to inspire people all over the world. And today we have as guest Mr. Victor Alexis. Yay!
Now, Peter, in a way that we could, and the people could know a little bit more about you, can you tell us, please, who is Victor and what is like your main job? When did you start dancing and with what kind of dance? Small things like that.
Okay, I'll make it very short. I am from Canada, but I am born in Chile. So I was raised here in Canada, and I discovered dancing in Brazil. I went to Brazil to play soccer, and that's why I fell in love with the music and the culture and the language, the Portuguese language.
Oh, nice.
Therefore, I started dancing since I'm 16, 17, and never stopped. So I do this full time, and it's been a beautiful journey until now.
But did you dance professionally? Did you dance professionally? Did you play professionally soccer?
Oh, in my head, in my heart. In my head, in my heart. No.
But was this travel to Brazil was something like a hiring? Somebody hired you, or it was a
No.
try
It was just
for
to
you?
discover. When you're that age, young, 16, 17, I traveled for a girl.
Okay,
Okay.
that's explained now.
And you traveled alone,
Yes.
not your parents? Oh my God.
No, there was friends who took care of me.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And how did you went over Canada?
Well, we got here in Canada, in Montreal. We speak French. Okay, we speak French here. Montreal.
Tabarnak.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I got here when we were like 5. When I was 5. Yes. So
Okay.
it's been 30 years that I am here in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. And tell us a little bit about your journey with the dance, because we know that you also made competition, you won some prizes. How was that? We already said and know that you were introduced to dance in Brazil, but then
Yes. So I got
it was-
introduced to the samba, to the capoeira, there was a lot of salsa back then in Brazil. It was very big because it was in the 98. Salsa was very big in 98. Therefore, I got hooked. And as a Latin kid, I don't know my Spanish very well. And I want to learn the roots of my Spanish. So there was salsa music, and it was easy for me to relate. And I wasn't a shy guy. I was always the clown, always the animator, the loud guy. But I was having fun. I loved that kind of culture and touching and connecting. So I started very young dancing, and I started salsa, Cuban salsa. Then after that, LA salsa. Then after that, oh, look, there's Puerto Rican salsa. Oh, look, you can dance on 2 in New York. Now, New York is 6 hours away driving for Montreal people. So it's easy access to go and get training.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, after many years of training, I was a New York salsa champion. So
good. Congratulations.
it's a while ago. Then a Canadian champion of salsa, And then after that, I made it to fourth in the world in salsa. And after that, I met Hustle, the Latin Hustle, and I becoming a world champion in Hustle. And
Together with Alien, it was that one that you compete with Alien Ramirez?
I had many partners, and I also competed with Alien Ramirez, and we got first place as well with her. So I'm many times world champion in Hustle, but still not yet world champion in salsa.
It's on the bucket list, things to do.
Yes.
So good.
But always been in the top 3, top 4, or finalists. So I'm very happy for that career. I don't know about Europe, but for Canada and America, we have a lot of competition for students. So my business plan has been a lot towards teaching students to compete with me.
Okay, good.
And that's how I made my living enormously. I mean, also with workshops plus show TV or weddings, all those things that you can do, and teaching, all those things that you can do. And also I had a studio. So yeah, so let's say that it was a
100% living for dance and by dance.
Absolutely.
So good. And how it entered Kizomba in your life? How did you were introduced to Kizomba?
Kizomba was introduced to my life particularly because you know the group who Kizomba Sem Limit, Sem Limit, they started renting my space.
Okay.
Oh.
They started renting my space, so I was always taking care of it and security and looking at everything. And I was, wow, this music is really good, but it's a different culture, it's a different dance. Okay, I'm interested in learning. Every year I invest 2 or 3 teacher training or other style of dancing, because as a teacher and as a student of dance, you need to keep growing and learning.
Yeah.
So I was, all right, perfect. There's Kizomba classes. I'll take them. You know, it might be the next thing. And there was also Zouk classes, so I'm gonna take also Zouk classes. So I started just learning everything. So I took a few teacher training, and it started with Kizomba Sem Limit, who brought you guys, who brought also all kinds of other people. So even Africa Dansar competition was done at my studio.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Then you already, it was that time that you met our work.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you remember it was that time that we met each other, yes, live.
Yes, absolutely, live, touching.
Now it's not possible. Yeah.
No, I regret not touching you more.
Yeah. Are you there's it was lockdown there in Canada, yes?
It was a long time ago, you mean?
No. Lockdown.
Yes, I'm in lockdown.
At this moment.
Today we are able to be outside until 9:30 p.m. Wow.
It's an evolution.
Wow.
But you didn't stop working. You kept the lesson
I kept
online?
dancing, but people are scared. People
Yeah.
are not. They're not. It's a very, very. It's an issue that divides a lot of people and divide even friendships and divide even dancers. And nobody knows, should we do it, not do it, teach, no teach. So it's complicated.
Yeah. But for you, this situation, there are people that see in a positive way this situation, but there are people that don't see. It's all negative. Did you try to learn more things, other kind of things, or it was all bad for you?
Okay. If it's a relaxed conversation, I'll go straight forward. It was very fun at the beginning because I've been dancing, teaching, working my ass off for so many years. I was tired.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed a break. Owning a studio, teaching, competing, creating, learning 30 something choreography per year, traveling. I needed a break. So it came at a very interesting time. But after 6 months, oh no, my butt wanted to move. I wanted to touch. I wanted to but I didn't want necessarily to teach
Yeah.
because it was good to have a break. Like you teach every year 1,000 hours per year or more. After a few hours, per year. I'm sorry, but it's the reality. It was
Yeah.
True.
human.
Yeah, it's true.
You get saturated, and you need to
Charge energies.
take to be able to give.
Exactly.
So yes, so I wasn't into pushing Zoom classes or into pushing group classes outside or indoors. I was, let's take a break. Let's
Mhm.
use this for the break, because when I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna come back fresh and have energy and be 100% there. So that's how I saw it.
Yeah.
And Paula was also asking if you use that time also to learn and to invest in your training, but in different fields than not dance. For example, ourselves, we invest a lot in marketing. We bought a lot of courses, we read a lot of books, and we try to use the time that we had not dancing to
Hmm.
be able to bring some strength to other fields that can be complementary to dance also, mainly to the business part. Did you use that
Yes,
time for that also?
I was a lot in thinking, and where am I going to go after this?
It's
At my
important.
age, and how is it gonna how the it was mainly mental for me to figure out what I wanted, because I've been traveling so much and I couldn't find a balance with a lifestyle of having a girlfriend or having a family. I have trouble figuring that out. So I was still searching. So I found something, but I'm studying a little bit to pass some mathematic exams, which I am really bad at mathematics, and it takes me forever. And I failed one exam, and I have to pass another exam because I'm thinking of going. I can't say it yet,
Of
but
Okay.
course.
Okay.
I have to pass this maybe new challenge in my life.
So good, so good.
It's nice. It's nice. Now, why you remember why you decided to do our KTT?
Because somebody told me that you were amazing teachers. Because I was so 100% in salsa and bachata. I had no time for kizomba. I didn't even need the business of kizomba.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. It
Mm.
was strictly for knowledge and learning that I took your classes. Um, but
Curiosity.
hmm?
It was mainly by curiosity.
Absolutely,
Self-improvement.
Self-improvement.
absolutely. And I heard so many good reference for you guys. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Okay,
We
so
need to
that,
do
that
this.
takes us to a good position to place ourselves in front of the bullets now, because it can come anything in a way that you are so experienced, you made so many trainings, you teach so many trainings, you teach for so many years, so you have a lot of possibilities to compare. So take in consideration the your experience on the training, and take in consideration that you are really an experienced professional, let's say like that, and your opinion. It will be very interesting to know, mainly for those that might now trying to be in a position of, will I do this kind of investment or not? Is this worth it or not? So what have you to say in terms of expectation that you had, comparison with other things that you had, and the usability of the content that we deliver with the training?
Okay, one question at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say one question at a time, but also one hat at a time.
Mhm.
Because I've been there as two hats. Of course, the teacher hat, but of course, the feeding the dancer in me hat. Okay, the passionate guy, the passionate. Why am I dancing? Why am I doing this? I'm doing this for the love of dancing, for the love of connection. There's no other reason. After that came the reason of competition. I'm living out of this, not the other way around. So as a first hat, first question again, please.
So in terms of expectation that you had about the training.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So here's my professional hat, okay? Professional approach. As I am fully diving into salsa bachata for so many years, when it came to judging from a professional eye, from all the mistakes that we've done in salsa and bachata, Kizomba for me was at a very small and fragile state. It was very much based on, what I say you do. Here, put your feet like that because I say so. I like it, so that's how you should do it. So every approach from teachers or performers or dancers were always subjective, and I was deceived and a little bit looking at Kizomba with that criminal eye, like, what is this? What is this? Why is there not teachers out there articulated who have other type of experience, but also, which is the greatest honor to you guys, who are passionate about it, to go to Angola, to go to travel to all these countries and learn from the very best. So that's cultural for me. That's super important. I give it. There's some people who can learn, who are talented to learn by themselves, learn by YouTube, learn because YouTube was the big thing back in the days, right? It still is today, but I mean,
there was a boom at that.
It was the first time YouTube. Wow, YouTube! You learn everything from YouTube, from a video, and you try to break it down, and so everybody was autodidact. Is that the word? Yes.
Yeah,
I understand that.
To dance, you need to have autodidact. You need,
of course,
to dance. To teach, to dance, you need that for sure. But I wasn't satisfied from what I was seeing back then, from the structure, from the way just Kizomba was back then. So therefore, I was okay. Let me just take all these teacher training classes. Take one, take a second one. I think you were the second one I took, or maybe the first, but not from other dances, right? So I had ballroom, I had salsa, I had ontu, I have pachanga, I had. Listen, I trained with Tito Hortos from Puerto Rico, Eddie Torres, name them. Been training a lot. So Billy Fajardo for Hustle. So it's been a beautiful journey of great teachers and inspireful people, and then comes Kizomba. Okay, then after that, since Kizomba is from beautiful Africa, I'm expecting to see, just like a ballroom teacher talks on the phone with Victor or Katya, they think I'm Russian. So when I show myself to them, they think I'm Russian, but I'm Latino, So for them, it was like, whoa, what is this? So the same thing happened to me, is that I was expecting maybe, a black dude and a black girl from Africa teaching us Kizomba. And then I meet you guys.
Almost Russian.
Sorry?
Almost Russian with blonde hair.
Yeah. It was the same thing that happened to me. It was very funny.
Yeah,
it was very funny. But again, to your honor, what was really mesmerizing was you went to Africa. You've learned. You even move your butt like an African, you know, like you have the swag, you have the charm. You can't necessarily learn that, but you can dive and you can be open and you can, you know, educate yourself and be there so many months and time and share. That was very that was kind of the secret sauce, maybe the secret sauce, you know. So yeah, so because it wasn't a very structured place, I mean, they were looking to kind of unionize or create a place of, you know, where there's respect, equal to equal conversations. But as a young dance, you could see there was a lot of oh, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, this is gonna happen. I was able to see already the political issues and the dangerous places where the teachers were still young and still like, you don't go over there because they're not teaching you right, so you come to me, okay? And if you don't sign here,
I kill you.
So it was still like that back in the days. So when you came in and you taught, I was like, finally, teachers, you know, finally. Not because of your talent, but because of your experience. I mean, to be able to teach me is because you already had in your baggage and on your back, you already had studio owner teaching others. When you start teaching others, you articulate differently and you're more relaxed and you know where the problems are, you know, already, even if you know your curriculum, I mean, you know your curriculum, but you know also all the mistakes that when you teach your curriculum, you know. So already it was funny to see all that, you know. I was able to watch all those pieces ahead. So it was funny to watch everybody else learning from you. It was like enjoying myself, you know, from the reaction of everybody, and yeah. So I could tell that there was a lot of knowledge, there was a lot of research done, there was a lot of time spent on really practicing and teaching it, and therefore you got a lot of feedback and information. And you know, they say that the best way of learning is by teaching.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. And then you start giving, or did you already taught Kizomba lessons or not at all?
I gave private classes, very minimal private classes, because to be honest, my time was
Limited.
fully engaged with salsa and bachata, and we had so many good competitions here going on. The competition in salsa was so overwhelming. It was business. It was great. It was great, not just for business, but to grow. Like every time I was creating one choreography, I was learning a million times.
Yeah.
So I was still so happy and active in my salsa, and I was also kind of letting Kizomba grow a little bit before I go back to it and dive into it.
Yeah.
To be honest, here in Montreal, I haven't seen enough samba dancers, and I think it's samba that really attracts me more, because I cannot stay still. I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm a dancer since I'm 11. I do capoeira and I do all kinds of break dancing. You put a good music and tell me, come on, this is so, Kizomba music is so good. Like I cannot stay still.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you can do steps. You can give pasada. You have several ways of doing, not only tarraxinha, Victor.
And then I bumped into everybody, and then I step into everybody. And
in salsa, you have also this challenging when you are dancing social. You can bump to everybody.
There's this movie. You remember the movie back in the days, Dance with Me, with Vanessa Williams?
Yeah.
And they are in the club.
Yeah.
and they moving all around, changing partners, going to the bar, going to the stage, going down, going here, going there. It reminds me a little bit of that. You know, my salsa lifestyle is like that.
Moving around,
well, yeah.
So
But
good.
it was just a place where I took 3 Kizomba teacher training, and I still didn't pursue it further enough. What I end up pursuing was Zouk, because like I said, I cannot stand still. I need to move a lot.
Brazilian Zouk, yeah?
Yes, Brazilian Zouk. Yes.
So you were saying that you attend other 2 teachers training for Kizomba?
Yes.
So can you, without saying the names of
Yeah,
the other instructors, of course, can you like pop up some pros and cons in terms of our teachers training, in terms of what we offer, things that, once again, without saying names and without saying that we are not here to do this kind of comparison. It's more in terms of those, once again, that might be in a situation of searching for improvement, searching for knowledge, searching for material to be able to put it in practice at their hometown. Things that you can remember from the training that, look, this is the kind of thing that is very useful when you are starting, or this is the kind of thing that maybe you will need, but only if you are already experienced, if you remember, of course, because it was a long time ago already.
Okay. So back then, it was, I think, 5 years ago, maybe?
Around that, yeah.
Around 5 years ago. Like I said, around 5 years ago, the teachers, everybody was still giving subjective approach on how to do things. The organization and planning wasn't organized. You know, it's fun to go to a class and have your little booklet, you know, and to understand, read where it comes from, and the organization of the time. You know, even I want to have something like this, you know, for my classes, you know, to teach. But everybody has to share their experiences. So what I liked about the combination is of you two that make it special, because it's important to have a visual female instructor, a visual male instructor, even though you can be very good at being one and only and do it both ways. Teaching has this vulnerability where you need to divide yourself in many forms of explanations. Okay, this is where we are vulnerable, meaning teaching is you need to break down what you understand to 11 type of people and to help them understand their way, not your way, right? So therefore, you have to communicate and translate what you're saying to somebody who really listens to numbers, to somebody who listens to words, and to somebody who listens to patatukupa, pa, you know, to the jungle sounds, and somebody who understands by emotion or by kinetic and by touching. So having both of you was really fun, and that's what makes it very powerful. And it happens also in my classes with my dance partner Corinne. With her, she's really good, I'm really good, I'm proud to say I'm really good with all my experience, but together we are better, you know.
Yeah.
Together we are better. She reaches the girl in a way that I cannot reach them, you know, and she stimulates them and motivates them and push them to grow, that they are just like listening, you know. and that is what I see, you know, in you guys. I see that kind of duality, both smart, both ego, both have hard-headed, but you manage the way to lead and follow, you know. And to be a good leader, you need to be a good follower. So I'm pretty sure that you follow her a lot. So I think in the classes I have been to, there was lacking that. You know, there's some things that, for me, let's say, a male should teach a male. You know, and then by model, by the touch, by the steps, by the leadership, by being humble, empathical, by finding the words. There's a lot of, it's important to have two teachers, uh, but yeah. So again, two teachers that can explain very well, have their own personality. I mean, your partner next to you, she's crazy, okay? She's crazy. I remember you being dynamic and you love art dramatic, right? You love the arts of drama and expression. That class, I love that class when you helped us with the you know the stage, the drama. Oh, that was
Yeah.
a great class, and I think people need that. They need all those experience that we. The more experience we have of so many other disciplines is very, very healthy and wealthy in a class. So
Yeah.
you brought that to your class, and you were proud of it, and you were confident, and that really helps a student learn. I mean, okay, my teacher is confident in this. Okay, why is he confident in that? It's important.
Good question, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
It's true.
So on that, the structure, the diplomacy, the articulation of teachers, to be able to translate words, and also to translate culture and passion, that's successful. That's not a success. Um, so those were the main things missing in other classes. Let's say, yeah, those are the main thing missing. What I would say, and back in the days. I mean, by now they could be better, and I hope they are. Um, but yeah, with you two together helps.
Let me place this question in this way. Take in consideration all your experience, and let's here do something like this exercise that you will create a teacher's training. So with your experience, with the things that you know that you needed when you start, that you need when you were in the middle, and what you still need when you are today, and using the example of our training, can you name one thing that for sure you would use in the construction and design of your teacher's training? Something that you look and you say, damn, this is something that is very useful for anybody that is starting to study to become a teacher.
I was always remember. I will always remember you as the guy who points up to the sky, points up to the roof, and you go this way, you go that way, leading with the roof, the ceiling, leading with the ceiling. I remember you were pointing out, um, you were pointing out the ceiling. Then that reminds me of it's your approach is some kind of the approach that a lot of the other masters that I took classes with use. You know, visualization, and when you have to understand being the guy and being the girl, you need to do it, and you cannot just be the girl or just be the guy, which a lot of people want to do. But what catapults you as a teacher is in that teacher training class you have made very clear that we have to do both positions, and we have to do it with partner and without partner, and also explain what we're doing as a follower or as a leader. And that is, again, congratulations that you use that in your class, because other masters as well are using that. And that is, for me, I think very important, because even though for some people they might find that very difficult, and maybe I will use the word annoying to do that kind of exercise, it is by far one of the most important and strong exercise, is to learn your movement. So if I'm the follower, I need to know my positions, my step, articulate what I'm doing, and go for it. It's very important. It helps you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's enter here in the final round of this conversation, because we also need to teach, and we lost a little bit of time here, and we are still at home, and we will need to go to the studio. Usually we do this conversation in studio, because after immediately we change studio and we start the lesson.
Nice.
And today we have salsa lesson also. We're still working in the salsa lesson.
Congratulations.
And this is one of the things that allow us to do that bridge that you were talking about, of the times of beginnings of Kizomba, that the things were not so structured. We have this kind of background also in our learning path that allow us to understand the importance of breaking down, of going gradually, and being able to have mathematics also in the way of teaching for the kind of learnings that Occidental people are used to. We had a really interesting conversation with Eddie Vance. You know him, Eddie Vance?
Eddie Vance? No.
Yeah, it's a Guinea-Bissau guy that is a teacher also, and he's a study, almost like anthropologist, inside of what is the Kizomba world. He's living on the USA, and he also have teachers training programs. And it's very interesting, this way of perspective that we are used by backgrounds of ways of learning, like you were saying before. And only in that conversation that we had last Saturday, we realized the importance of another big advantage of the way that we use the warm-ups, because the warm-ups that we use with that choreographies to break down the
yes,
to be able to show different African styles.
Yes.
This process of teaching is by visualization and imitation. That is the way that in Africa and Latin America also, people learn how to dance mainly. They don't go through numbers and structures and
but because it's simple, because it's not, you're not pushing somebody to learn it, you're not pushing them, you're not pushing down their throats something. They are accepting it and learning it and imitating it, so it comes from them. So this is where the key is how to make them want to learn.
Yeah, but here it's about then the opposition, because although it's important that people in Europe, at least, to learn something, they need to have things break down. They need to have structures, schemes,
you
and
need to have the IKEA technique.
Exactly, IKEA technique. That's a good one. And in for example, in Africa and Latin America, they learn more by this intuitive way. So in terms of becoming more complete, we as a student, we should expose ourselves to different ways of learning to be able to become more complete. So we never thought about this before this conversation with that event, that the fact that we have the warm-up system in this way of learning, it's a big advantage for the student, because after you will have all the schemes and all the breakdowns and the numbers, but you have the first part that allow him also to be introduced to this relaxed way without putting inside of the throat to learn. So it's interesting. And I don't know why I was telling this, but I want to ask you something. You already said that you cannot share so much, but we like to talk about dreams. And in terms of profession, in terms of all the achievements that you had, world champion, I don't know, so many times in different rhythms, you have your own school, you have worked in traveling the world. What is your big dream at this moment?
Wow. That's a big question, to have a big dream. I think that the little kid inside me always had this big dream of winning championship. I don't know why I always I have this debate with people about competition. I mean, I love competition. I think because of soccer. Soccer is a competitive game, and you have to win the match, you know, and you have to drill and use your feet right. I guess I kept that from soccer. So I think I still want to achieve a few things in dancing still. I still want a salsa championship. I still want it deep in my heart. There's one thing there, but to be honest, I would love a balanced life where I will be able to maybe raise a family and be able to go to my classes and travel the world and still have a balanced family, because for for a long time, dancing took over everything, that I couldn't balance that, or didn't find the way or the maturity to do it. So that
Did you
is,
did you thought about how to get that? So
yes, I have found a model. I've seen somebody who inspires me to do so. I won't name his name, but basically, what is very beautiful is that he wakes up and makes food for the kids, and then the kids go to school, and the wife goes to work, and he is training at home. He's doing his marketing, his videos, his podcasts at home, and after that, the kids come home at 3. He's there. He's cooking, he's teaching them, he's with the kids, and after that, around 7, he goes to work at a studio and teaches a few hours of classes. Wow, that's kind of a very impressive way. And then you have the weekends for yourself, for
and
traveling or other things.
what about team?
Team, I had teams. I had many teams. Teams or teams?
Team, staff.
Staff, yes, as well, having a staff. But it takes I wouldn't like to do this alone. I would like to do this with having maybe a partner or 2 other partners, because the business.
Just let me drop you a thought here.
Yes.
It's all about things that only you can do and things that others can do for you. What usually, as a human being, we have this tendency is to do stuff that others can do for us, don't giving us the time for the things that nobody else can do for us, including thinking that you were saying. So we need to have like booked in our agenda time to think, because nobody can think for us. So, and it's a quite interesting. We learned this with our business partner, and it's like no depreciation, but if you have 2 employees and a cleaning lady and the marketing guy, and if in somehow the marketing guy to help the cleaning lady is cleaning the floor, this don't make sense, because you are paying to a lady to clean the floor and you are paying to another guy to do his job. And when he wants to help the other, he's taking the job of the other and he's not doing something that nobody else can do to him. And here enters also this concept of an employee of $500 can be very expensive, and an employee of $5,000 can be very cheap. So we are in this process now, and it takes a lot of training, personal training, to trust others to do things that you know that you would do it better. But you need to give this time, and you need to trust in someone and give the tools and train the people to do it in a way that will take you time to do stuff that other way you could not have, either if it is to be with your family or to travel more or to do whatever. And at the same time, to don't lose the essence of what you built and your brand, because we felt a little bit this. We had the team, we were traveling a lot, but as we were not so present here and we completely deliver, what had the foundation of our structure, the heart of our company and the service was being lost because we didn't give the follow-up. So now we start changing the approach by dedicating more time to teach how to fish instead of fishing for others. Make sense?
Yes. I still have a different vision for a structure in the future of having a team and having a school. But I don't look at it as having the typical one studio for dancing. I am looking at it as a studio for rental, a studio for other things, and also probably hire maybe one of the best of the best. But here's what's beautiful in Montreal. I've been renting now just studio space, private classes space, group space, and there's other teachers who are so good doing the same thing as me, and then it happens that I need a coaching for my student. So I asked this other guy, this other teacher, come in, I need you to coach my student. And then he hires me for their student, and she hires me for her student. And we've been creating this
network,
natural, organic symbiosis where we're all helping each other and creating a community where I respect him, respect her, and the students are really happy about that. It's a beautiful approach, and I wish, but they're all independent. We're all independent, and it works just beautifully, and it's new for us here in Montreal to have that kind of symbiosis. But then to have it in my own studio, under my own name, that's where it gets, people are being pushed away by that. So there's a lot of thinking to do in the agenda still, but I'm liking the approach right now, how it is, of how, because I love sharing. I mean, I'm dancing salsa or all these dancing because I love connection, and somehow I found a connection that's very, very respectful for everybody in this form.
So, but just as an idea, because if you love that so much, and if the things are happening in an organic way, why not to think about in a system that can make it easier to happen even more exponential? So I'm just giving you an idea for you to have more time of thinking, but try to think writing. This was one of my biggest learnings during this quarantine time. It is to think writing, not only to think like esoteric, but at the same time that you are thinking, you are start writing. Today, I think I had an amazing idea. And if I didn't got this kind of habit of writing down, I was eating and it suddenly popped this idea because of something that I saw on the news, and I need to stop eating, pick up my phone, and I have like
start writing.
Some places where I write down ideas that appear in the middle of nothing, and it's there. I know that I will pop up again that one day, and from that it will appear a beautiful, beautiful project. But this to tell you that procrastination comes from the idea of allowing the things to be far away. It's this metaphor of the stairs. So
yes,
we defend that we should look up on the stair, that we should create a point of the top of our ladder. And I learned this with my father, and I try to do it since ever. But it's important after to look down and to do the first step that will take you to the second step.
And don't lose the courage.
Because otherwise, when you start doing the process and the project, it just, everything makes sense and it's everything amazing till the moment that you will start receiving the first pain. And we don't like to pain. If you are not masochist, you don't like to have pain. So when you feel the pain, this take you the courage, and when you take the courage, it take you from the focus. So it's the difference of being I listened this yesterday. It's very, very fresh. And what I'm doing is sharing with you because I want to implement that in my brain. I want to tattoo that in my brain. So it's the highest point of learning is when you start sharing with others, like you said before. And I want to share this with many people I can in order that I get this inside of me. It's the difference between stress and challenge. So stress is when you fight against the pain, and challenge, it's when you accept the pain as something that makes part of the journey and allow you to keep on the focus. And this is so powerful when you start like breaking down and allow you to give you the strength to be able to get closer to the top of the ladder. What we have nowadays was our top of ladder in 2005. And in 2010, we reached that top of the ladder. So only 5 years was enough to get to the top of our ladder. And of course, now our ladder, it grew and we are much more there. But it's like a constant exercise, daily exercise, to be able to keep focusing on the next step, knowing where is the final spot, but focusing on the next step. And it's hard work. It's hard work, really.
Yeah, well, without the pain, you wouldn't know, right? I mean, if everything was so beautiful, I mean, or everything, if we were all the same, you know, it would have been boring.
It was so good to have this conversation with you, Victor. It's so good to see you. It's a pity that we cannot hang out more often because I like to talk with you, Paula, for sure. You have this idea very clear and you are very experienced on the area.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. If we can do this another time, but I would suggest us to have my dance partner, Corinne,
Of course.
with me. She is an amazing individual, professional, and a business girl. You will love her.
It's very good to listen the women's part. I like also, because not only men but also the ladies have a very important role. That's why it's
Well,
like,
then you should have her because she's her goal is to empower women in business. So she has that in her heart. So that will be a great partner to have here on your talks.
So
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
So
Very
good.
good.
Victor, thank you so much. I really hope that you can manage that balance that you are searching and you can find the ways to be able to make it happen in the energy and the balance that you need.
For sure.
And that soon you can become also world champion of salsa. Hope so.
Yes. Oh,
And
take a look. I will send you a link, but there is on this there is some place where there's a documentary. I have a documentary. I have a documentary. I'll send you the link. It's on.
Yes, please. Yes.
I will watch.
Where is it again? I forgot. I'll send you the link.
Good.
Oh, yes. Cold Nights Hot Salsa.
Cold night, hot
Hot
salsa.
salsa.
Yes.
Okay, but send me the link, please.
Please, yes. I want to see.
And just we have 2 requests to finish, like in 30 seconds each. One is to say why people should attend the KTT Complete program, and 2, send a message to your followers and to the people that your students, your friends, whatever.
Yes. Right here, right now. So
Yes.
everybody, or all my students and friends and whoever is new, as a new instructor, young instructor, or even if you are a studio owner, a teacher that has a lot of other teachers under your belt, under you, and you're supervising them, I suggest you take classes with ALC here. This teacher training class, very well structured. Both are articulated in so many languages and also in so many other disciplines of dance that will really help you learn very well, very smoothly, very charming and culturally, and also very intelligently, which I like. I like a lot.
Thank you very much.
I like a lot. Okay.
Thank you so much, my dear friend. Hope to see you soon on 3 dimensions to touch each
I'll
other.
send you the link of the video. The commentary
Perfect.
is pretty cool. All right.
And thank you very much for those that were here listening to us and those that will listen after. So tomorrow we're going to talk with Jojo, the instructor from France, and it will be on Instagram. So see you there. Mwah. Ciao, ciao, Victor. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.